Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. On October 4th, 1957, we were introduced to an American television situation comedy that followed the misadventures of a suburban boy, his family, and his friends. That show was Leave It to Beaver, and it starred Barbara Billingsley, Hugh Beaumont, Tony Dow, and Jerry Mathers as the Beaver. And as far as things go now, anytime we hear the word the Beaver, you immediately think of Theodore Cleaver. But how did he get that nickname? You can often be around something for so long that it almost becomes divorced from its origins, and you forget where the stupid nickname even came from in the first place. There are two separate explanations for why Theodore is called Beaver. There's one that's the explanation from the show, and then there's the explanation from the series creator, Joe Connolly. In the series finale of the show, the family took a stroll down memory lane by looking at a few photographs. During this reminiscing, Beaver asked how he got the nickname in the first place. June explained to him that when Wally was younger, he couldn't pronounce his younger brother's actual name, Theodore. Instead of saying the name, he pronounced it Tweeter, and his parents decided to call their son the similar-sounding name of Beaver. Although this is a pretty cute story, there are some loyal fans who were a little dissatisfied with the explanation that they gave for the name. But the Beaver himself, Jerry Mathers, explains the real reason that the creator of the show chose that name was because Connolly, who had always wanted to write for television, kept an ever-updating notebook of people, names, and encounters that he could one day use as inspiration when writing material for a show. He documented a lot of impactful experiences that he had that happened to himself and to his friends. And when he became a father, he did the same thing with his children's experiences as well. Almost the entire show came from things that happened in real life. Not that each episode was specifically about one child, but they would take a thought and they would embellish it and add different things to it. But it started out as something that really happened to a person or a child. The creator also kept an alphabetized list of names of people that he met throughout his entire lifetime. And one of them just happened to be the name of a shipmate that he had served with during the Second World War. When it came time to develop this show, Connolly flipped through this alphabetized list of names and got as far as the letter B when he decided that Beaver would be the perfect name for a character in the show. When you watch the show nowadays and really think about it, it seems really strange that the mother and father and the brother used this bizarre name to refer to young Theodore. The mother of the show, played by Barbara Billingsley, was warm, doting, and loving, and was able to capture the maternal energy in the series, so much so that it would linger in the hearts of audiences long after she was finished with that role. She was a naturally gifted actor, but perhaps what turned her into Miss Cleaver and made her this impactful character was that it was really a mirror image of Billingsley herself. During the time that she was filming the show, she was also taking care of her own two sons at home, with an age difference almost identical to Beaver and Wally. And she went on to explain that a lot of things that happened to them with their children ended up in the show in one way or another. She was able to juggle parenting with her busy acting schedule, and even though you should never bring your work home with you, in this case, her parental instincts may have actually been an asset on the set. It's been noted by all the cast members especially the kids, that Billingsley acted as a pseudo-mom to the actors on the show. Frank Bank, who played Lumpy, explained at one time that was the cool thing about the show, that they actually were like a family with each other, and how everybody had a fondness for Beaver's parents. Before Lumpy died, he said that after the show ended, he considered Barbara Billingsley his second mother, that she was wonderful, caring, and thoughtful and kind, and a truly considerate person. And people used to ask him if she was really that way on the show, or if it was kind of phony. But he jumped to her defense, saying that she was prim and proper, with her pearls and nothing out of place, that she was just as she was depicted in the show, only much better. One of the things that seemed more unrealistic in her part as June Cleaver was the fact that June was wearing a full outfit, complete with high heels and string pearls, just to stay at home, to cook, and to clean the house. However, these costume decisions weren't simply for appearances only. Barbara Billingsley recalled the decision to wear pearls wasn't an aesthetic one, but it was really to cover up a hollow that she had in her neck that would become more pronounced if they showed it on television the way the set was lighted. But it cast a huge shadow across her neck. She says that the pearls weren't worn consistently immediately, but that she did evolve into them. It wasn't just the pearls that people noticed, but it was the fancy dresses and the high heels while vacuuming the house. But these high heels served a purpose, and it was a sensible reason for her to have them on. She needed to remain taller than her on-screen sons, Tony Dow and Jerry Mathers. The boys had grown and were continuing to grow, so she had to be taller. In the beginning of the series, she wore flats, but pretty soon she got into the high heels, and she felt like at one point they were going to have to put her on an apple box to compensate for the height problems that they had with the boys. She's also shared that she had a hand in the costume decisions around June Cleaver, including one very important detail, the length of her skirts. She said that she made sure that her skirts were not overly short, but also were not too long. Because they were at this medium length, this was a very good idea at the time, that she didn't realize it, but they never became dated. Treat yourself to an episode of Leave It to Beaver. You'll finish with a smile on your face. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.